Welcome back to r/LegalAdvice, where people ask questions, get advice, and we get satisfaction. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe to join our amazing community, and without any further ado, let's dive right into the stories. And the first one is titled, Pennsylvania Granting Easement for Landlocked Property Questions. Below is a link to the property in question. We are looking at the 35 by 16 foot section in yellow. It is located in southwest Pennsylvania. And guys, here you can see the picture that the OP is talking about, and another one in color. So basically, the part of lot 14 below lot 20 was a foreclosed house, referred to as FC home, that was foreclosed when I bought my house, referred to as my house, which is to the left, the other part of lot 14, and also lot 13 next to the word state. Someone finally purchased the FC home and now found out I landlocked their driveway, as the garage and driveway directly connects to the yellow part of the map shown in the above picture. It is paved. As such, they are unable to get financing for the house without me granting easement. They have come to me asking for a permanent and transferable easement for that they will maintain and are offering me $1 for it. First question, should I grant the easement? Second is, what should I ask for in the easement? I figured them maintaining/repairing it, hold me harmless for anything that happens on the easement, them to pay any and all fees related to the easement and updating of titles etc, mandating that there is to be no parking there, only for ingress/egress, and that I have uninhibited access to my driveway 24/7, 365 days a year. Make sure all of these conditions apply not just to me, but to owner of my property in case I sell. Is there anything else I should ask for? Thirdly, $1 kind of seems like a slap in the face. My land works out to around 4.35 square feet when I bought it, and the lot to the right of FC is listed for what amounts to $0.50 per square feet. Do I legally have to grant them easement, and what is a fair price to ask for this easement? Below is what their realtor sent me. Whereas the owner of the property have for some time used a driveway which is on the land of XX in order to gain access to XY alley as set forth in the plan of record in Plan Book Volume page X, and the parties desire to confirm the right to use this driveway and provide for the maintenance thereof. Now therefore, in consideration of $1 and of good and valuable consideration and intending to be legally bound hereby, the parties do agree as follows. Person X does hereby grant and convey onto Person Y a non-exclusive easement for ingress, egress and regress over the driveway as more particularly described on Exhibit Z hereto. The parties agree that the person shall be solely responsible for the maintenance and upkeep of the driveway in the condition in which it presently exists. This easement is perpetual and shall run with the land. As used herein, the singular includes the plural and the masculine includes the feminine. In witness whereof, the parties have executed this agreement on the date first above written. And a user in the comments said, not a lawyer, you need to take this to a real estate lawyer. I cannot tell for sure from your description, but it looks like you need access to this area as well. I would personally sell land before giving an easement, and you might also want to look at where there are other public roads they could access, which would reduce their chances of forcing an easement. Another person said, not a lawyer, but just so you are aware, the $1 is not intended as a slap in the face to you. It is being done because to be enforceable a contract must have consideration, which means something of value. This is a very common way for people to add consideration to a contract without it actually being an intended payment. And the next one is an update to the landlocked property story. So in the end I offered $3,000 for this buyer, then I hear nothing for about 4 months. Then a lawyer representing Freddie Mac contacts me and wants to make a deal since the buyer backed out. I tell them, due to being ignored and getting tired of being in limbo, $10,000. To my surprise, they slowly, like federal government movement, agree without hesitation, and I sign papers exactly as they wrote it with only name changes, and after a month they release the check. The day it is released, I list the house and sell it within 45 days of listing for a nice profit over what I bought it for. Happy days, plus I got the easement money. About 6 months after the house is sold, I get served court papers. Freddie Mac is suing myself and the new owners for an invalid easement. I work away from home a large percentage of the year, so I have a general POA over all my finances, property, etc. for my wife and my mother. I was away at the time of the check signing, so I had my mother POA the easement deal. The notary at my attorney had signed the easement deal as if I had personally appeared and signed it over, but all the signatures show my mother using POA. The county recorder rejected the easement deal, leaving us in this situation, saying it was invalid. After some further talking with Freddie Mac and my attorney, they contact us that they are fine if I just come in and personally resign all the papers, even though the house is no longer mine. I resign everything, and 1 month later I get court papers saying the case was dropped. Appears to be all settled now. Thanks for enjoying the roller coaster ride. And guys, if you enjoy r/LegalAdvice, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also like the video, because that would help me out tremendously. Thank you so much in advance, and now let's move on to the next story. HOA levy fines even though not part of HOA. Location is in Kissimmee, Florida. Situation: my parents had an existing fence on their property that was falling apart. They tore the old fence and built the new one without a building permit. And by the way guys, that is probably one of the most epic names for a location I have ever heard of. Anyway, a couple of months later they receive a notice from the HOA stating that they are in violation of the governing document because they had fencing installed without filing a building permit with Osceola County or notifying the Architectural Control Committee as per the deed restrictions requirement. My parents are not part of the HOA. The notice also includes the following statement: additionally, our records indicate that you are not a member of the redacted Homeowners Association. We highly suggest that you complete the enclosed application and submit this with the annual dues of XXX. They were invited to attend an HOA meeting to contest these fines, however, they were unable to attend due to an emergency. Since they did not attend the meeting, the HOA levied a $1,500 fine and planned to file a property lien against their home. My parents tried to get more information, but the number provided does not return their calls. At the moment, I am trying to pull deed records from the county to determine if there are any deed restrictions. I plan to help the folks to contact the HOA representatives if they do another meeting regarding the fine. The questions are: can the HOA impose fines if my parents are not part of the HOA, or is it dependent on what the deed restrictions say? It just appears counterintuitive to not be a part of an HOA, yet they still have to receive approval for a fence regardless of deed restrictions. The outcome: we are hoping to remove the fine. Thanks in advance for any help. Edit: I received clarifying information from the folks. HOA has yet to put a lien on the property, they only threatened. And a user in the comments said, an HOA cannot fine someone if their lot is not part of the association. Full stop. And that addendum you mentioned makes it seem pretty clear that they do not think you are a part of it either. If your search shows that there really are no deed restrictions, then you don't have to have the fine rescinded since it is not valid. If your search does show something, contact a lawyer immediately as you will need pro help. The very fact they apparently issued a fine to a unit they know is not part of the association is pretty outrageous on its own. And now we will go directly to the first update posted by the OP. Update number 1, I found the deed, however it is 1 page. I'm not sure if this is typical for HUD purchase property. There is some language that concerns me regarding restrictions which I commented below. I understand that any comment/advice received is not legal advice. And by the way guys, if anyone knows what HUD purchase property means, I would be very grateful if you could tell me in the comments. Update number 2, I found the record plat and saw no mention of HOA. Nonetheless, I told my parents to call the title company for more details. I will sort through their sales documentation later tonight. Update number 3, unfortunately I found the restrictions document/covenant titled Restrictions on Real Estate for Redacted Subdivision and my parents' lot/record plat. I found the documents on the county recording website. No building shall be erected, placed or altered on any lot until the construction plans and specifications and a plan showing the location of the structure have been approved by the Architectural Control Committee as to the quality of workmanship and materials, harmony of external design with existing structures, and as to location with respect to topography and finish grade elevation. And a user in the comments made a very good comment in regards to the updates. He said, based on the edits, it sounds like you did violate some deed restrictions. It may be because the Homeowners Association controls the Architectural Review Committee, and that is who has the right to enforce the declaration, which might include liening non-conforming properties. This is a hard lesson learned for a lot of people who think that there is no homeowners association as long as there is no big document on the title that says in capital letters, document to establish a homeowners association. I would suggest you get a real estate lawyer and have them obtain and review the declaration as well as any unrecorded bylaws of the HOA. It could be the case that you are subject to the declaration because it is recorded against your land, but you have no say in how the enforcement committee is elected unless and until you actually join the HOA and pay dues. And I have to admit guys, it was sort of difficult for this to get any further updates. But from what I could gather in another thread in regards to this post, OP obviously did not have to pay any fines to the HOA itself, but instead the OP had to pay a fine to the county because they did not have the correct permit. And the next one is titled, Asked to sign a witness statement for my housemate's marriage visa, but I have doubts about how genuine their relationship is and if I will be at risk. I have lived with these people for 2 years across 2 shared houses. When I met them, their story was that A, girl, was helping out her friend B, a guy, who had been on the edge of homelessness. He ended up staying in the house, sharing her room for the long term. When I inquired as to the nature of their relationship, I was told they once dated but were just friends now and they don't have sex or anything. At some point I learned that A, who is from another country, wanted to stay in Australia and that she and B had discussed marrying so she could do that. I was present for many discussions about how they might go about it, whether it was going to be possible, etc. There was a debate for a while if B was even a good candidate due to his legal history. It was never framed as something they would do because they were in love and wanted to be together. They do, however, have an uncommon friendship though that to outsider eyes may look like a genuine relationship. They do their shopping and cooking together, they do each other's laundry, she's going on his insurance because she wants to use his car, she has met his family and they accidentally adopted a stray cat together. Their lawyer has told they have a good chance due to their living together for a long time. I don't know if he knows the full circumstances though. On the other hand, they have separate bedrooms and sleep apart and they don't have intercourse. A goes on dates and sleeps with other people, and I have discussed with B his feelings about dating and wanting to find love. Their finances are separate. They don't go on dates as a couple, only B and I are on the lease. In the past I even admitted to a crush on B and he said he felt the same for me, only to retract his interest after he spoke to A. At no point during that time was I told, "But I have a girlfriend." Only, "I've realized this is not something that I need right now." When I spoke to A about the crush, she laughed and said she thought B was not emotionally available, but I should tell him to clear the air. She never told me, "But he's my partner." I promised this has nothing to do with me not wanting to sign the statement, but it is an example of why I am confused by their sudden insistence they are a couple. I have never seen them be romantic together or had cause to think they are a sincere, committed, loving couple who want to build a life together. Their friendship is truly deep and caring, but it is not that of a committed couple as most people would understand it. I understand that is just my interpretation though. I have been asked, actually my consent was presumed and she got offended when I said I needed time to think about this, but anyway, to be A's witness for the marriage visa application. However, I feel worried and anxious about this. She has told me now that their relationship is unorthodox but genuine, even though never told me that before, and in fact have explicitly said they are just best friends. She said I wouldn't have to lie, only write a carefully truthful statement about what I have seen their relationship to be, general stuff like I've seen them live together and that they care about each other. I am the only friend she has who can do this, who knows them both well. I have no desire to judge non-traditional family arrangements, but I don't think their circumstances would be acceptable to the Department of Immigration. They have told me I would not be at risk in any way if I do the statement, but the punishment as noted on Form 888 is severe and I may be asked to give further statements and an interview. B's legal history may put him higher on their radar. I feel like no matter what kind of careful statement I make, it would be committing fraud because everything I have known over the past 2 years tells me they are not a genuine committed romantic couple in the sense of a marriage for visa purposes. I know this has been planned for as a way for A to stay in the country for at least a year. I don't know, their relationship is unusual and I am very confused about how it would be seen legally if I make a statement in support of it. Would it be seen as legitimate in the eyes of the law because of how intertwined their lives are, even if they are not romantic or sexual together? There's a bit of personal pressure on me to do this, as A feels if I don't, I would be betraying her and our friendship. Would love some advice. Thanks. And a user in the comments said, this is a serious legal document, don't sign it if you have any doubt whatsoever. Don't get bogged down in the loyalty or trying not to offend someone. This is your integrity on the line in the eyes of the law and you need to cover yourself. Think about it this way, you are agonizing over whether or not you are compromising them, they don't seem to have the same concern for you. And I gotta say guys, in the US this whole marriage visa process for foreigners trying to marry US citizens is actually a very interesting topic if you ask me. A German friend of my sister, maybe around 10 years ago, she came to the US and married a US citizen, and in order to get this marriage visa, they are really strict and they really check everything. They even want to see pictures, as far as I know, of you being together on holiday, etc. And funnily enough, this is not only the case in the US, but also in Thailand, where they are pretty strict as well when it comes to marriage visas nowadays. And by the way guys, I forgot to ask, if your friend would ask you to sign such a witness statement, and in case that friend is also in such a questionable relationship, would you do it for your friend? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, now we will read the update to the story. Thanks to everyone who replied to me, I deeply appreciated your perspectives as I was confused and torn about what to do. My housemates told me they were planning to say they had been in a relationship for a year as part of their application. I told them I have not known them to be in a relationship for a year, so I couldn't sign a witness statement in support of that claim as it would be misleading and therefore fraudulent. I said I wasn't 100% confident about participating in this and that I wished them well, but I wasn't able to help. They insisted it wouldn't be a lie and I wouldn't be at risk. They told me that their relationship is genuine, that they love each other and that they want to build a life together. I held firm that I would not do this. It was hard though. They said it was crappy of me and that they would now have to get statements from other people that would be a lie, as those people have not interacted with them as much. They implied that I was being thoughtless about how this would affect their material conditions. The annoying thing is, if they had told me they were in a relationship a year ago, I would have done this for them. Instead, they insisted they were just best friends up until 3 weeks ago when I expressed doubt about being involved. They are either lying that they are in a genuine relationship, or they shot themselves in the foot by being unnecessarily obfuscatory about it for the past 2 years that I have known them. I feel for them if it is the latter, but I've also realized that it is not my responsibility to compensate for their failing to cultivate friendships in which they are known as a couple. I've been a generous friend to them in other ways, but this is a step too far for me. I just don't understand why they were so coy for so long about saying they were in a relationship. The immigrating housemate is mad at me and giving me the silent treatment. I expect our friendship is over. And the last one has nothing to do with legal advice, but it is a little bonus story by the always beloved Captain Dropbear from our own subreddit, and it is titled, I had a scam phone call so I had some fun and changed my name and address. Dropbear is back with a little fun tale for the Ripe family. we have me, your lovable drop bear, and of course our telephone scammer. I shall name him John from the Quickie Mart. Ring ring answer and get auto message. Hello, this is the NBN. Your internet will be cut off in 24 hours due to illegal third-party traffic on your account. Press 1 to stop this from happening. Repeat, press 1 to stop this. Drop bear presses 1. John.
Hello, this is NBN. How can I help you?
Me. Yes, I got a message. My internet will be cut off because of third-party traffic. John.
Yes, sir. Can I have your name?
Me. I will need to spell it. It's Golf Oscar Tango Seria Hotel Alpha Romeo. Pronounced Gotcha. John.
Yes, Mr. Gotcha. Can I have your address, please?
Me. Parliamentary Triangle, Lake Burley, Griffin, Canberra. This is the address for the Australian Federal Police, AFP. John.
Thank you, Mr. Gotcha. I'm looking you up now. Yes, we have illegal traffic on your NBN by a third party, and due to this we will be cutting your service tomorrow.
Me. John. Please call me by my first name as Mr. Gotcha is my father. My name is Ivor. John.
Okay, Mr. Ivor.
Me. Just Ivor. John.
Okay, just Ivor. I have your account up. Yes, I can confirm you have illegal third-party traffic from the dark web using your account. We can stop this by having you buy and install our security software.
Me. Ivor. Not just Ivor, but I access the internet through a VPN. John cuts me off.
Ivor, your VPN will not protect you from these dark web people. You will need a security software program.
Me. Would you like the name of my VPN to check if the illegal traffic is coming through it? John.
Yes, Ivor. If you give that to me, I will check if the connection is secure.
Me. I shall spell it for you. It is all in capital letters. Alpha Foxtrot Papa / Charlie Yankee Bravo Echo Romeo Charlie Romeo India Mike Echo Syria. John.
Thank you, Ivor. I'm checking that now.
In my head I say, holy crap, John is dumb. Me. John. Hello, John. Can you please read my full name and my VPN back to me? John.
Yes, that's I've gotcha at AFP Cybercrimes.
Me. Bye bye, John. P.S. This is the third time they have called in 3 days. I have now added a call recorder to my phone, so if they call again I can get it all recorded. I will send Ripe the audio. And yes, the first 2 times I just pressed 1 and told them to plug off scammer and hung up. And yes, Mr. Dropbear, I would love to have that audio recording. That would make it even better. And guys, unfortunately we have already reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories, and if you haven't already, please also go to patreon.com/ripeyoutube, where I upload exclusive Reddit videos starting at just $3 a month. This is a great way to support me in case you are interested, and the chance for me to become independent from YouTube revenue. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.